Tunde was the kind of young man people often admired from afar. He had charm, confidence, and a smile that made him seem unstoppable. His neighbors in Abadan would say, "That boy has a bright future," while his friends called him Sharp Guy. But behind the admiration, there was something restless inside him, a hunger for quick success, a need to prove himself faster than life allowed. From his first job at a small logistics company, Tunde already felt trapped. Every payday, when he collected his small brown envelope, he would stare at the figures and sigh. So this is what I work for? How long before I can even buy a car? How long before people see me as a success? He wanted wealth, not just survival. He wanted recognition, not patience. So when a colleague, Kunle, leaned toward him one afternoon and whispered about a new investment opportunity, Tunde's ears opened wide. Kunle painted a picture with words. Money doubling within weeks, no stress, no waiting. You see, Tunde, those who hesitate remain poor. But those who act, they enjoy life early. Just try it, you'll thank me. Tunde didn't need much convincing. He poured his entire savings into the scheme. For the first time, he felt the thrill of being ahead of the game. And for a while, it worked. His account balance looked impressive. He bought flashy clothes, treated friends to drinks, and even upgraded his apartment. People noticed. The same neighbors who once nodded politely now looked at him with envy. Tunde dawned blow, they whispered. But what rises too fast often crashes harder. One evening, Tunde checked his phone and noticed delays in withdrawing funds. The next day, the website was gone. Panic filled his chest as he tried calling Kunle, only to find his number switched off. Within a week, the truth became unavoidable. The scheme had collapsed. Everything was gone. The fall was brutal. His rent became overdue. Calls from friends went unanswered. The same people who once celebrated with him now mocked him behind his back. At night, when the lights were cut off for unpaid bills, he sat in the dark, his head buried in his hands, replaying his mistake. Why did I rush? Why didn't I think? He whispered, his voice cracking in the silence. Days turned into weeks. Shame became his closest companion. Even his family scolded him. His father refused to send help, saying, "Didn't I warn you that shortcuts don't last?" His mother cried quietly over the phone, but even her sympathy could not pay his debts. One evening, broken and hopeless, Tunde took a long walk to his grandmother's house in the old part of town. Mama Adiola was in her 80s, with frail hands but sharp eyes that had seen life in all its colors. She served him food, listened patiently as he poured out his regrets, and when he was done, she spoke softly. "My son, do you know why mistakes hurt so deeply? Because they are meant to teach us. Pain is not punishment. It is instruction. The only true waste is when you suffer, yet refuse to learn." Her words cut through him like a blade of light. For the first time, Tun stopped blaming Kunnel, stopped blaming bad luck, and began to see his role clearly. He had been impatient. He had chosen greed over growth. The mistake wasn't the end. It was a teacher. The next morning, Tunde made a choice. Instead of chasing shortcuts, he started small again. He took a side hustle repairing phones, something he had once considered beneath him. He enrolled in an online business course, sacrificing sleep to study. He read books on money, discipline, and resilience. Slowly, painfully, he rebuilt himself. It wasn't glamorous. There were no overnight successes, no sudden wealth, but there was growth. His confidence returned, this time built not on quicksand, but on foundation. He saved diligently, invested wisely, and when temptation came knocking again, promising fast returns, he smiled and walked away. Years later, people noticed him again, not because of flashy clothes or temporary riches, but because his businesses stood firm, his words carried weight, and his story inspired others. Young men came to him for advice, and he would sit them down, lean forward, and say, "A mistake is only wasted if you refuse to learn from it. Don't fear failure. Fear not learning." Tunde's past no longer haunted him. It had shaped him. The pain he once wished away became the foundation of his strength. What once seemed like the end of his life was, in truth, the beginning of wisdom. And so, his story became proof of what Mama Adiola said that night. Mistakes are not curses. They are invitations to grow, to change, and to rise stronger than before. If Tunde's journey touched you, let it remind you that your own mistakes can become stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. And if you believe someone out there needs this reminder too, don't keep it to yourself. Share this story with them. Take a moment to like this video if you found value in it, and subscribe so you won't miss more stories that speak to the heart. Together, we can keep learning, growing, and rising one story at a time.